Thank you for joining us on our channel. Awesomely Supertastic. I'm Jerome.
I'm Caleb.
And today we're going to talk about Power Rangers, the 2017, not the original.
I was really surprised. It was really good.
It was good. I was on a high. I'm coming down now, so I'm like definitely not feeling it as much as I was when I first saw it. But I will say, it was awesome. I would watch it again. I'm going to buy it for sure. Big fan. Long time.
It was, I think I'm going to agree with everyone else we've read or seen saying that it was a little bit too long, but as an origin story, I feel like it kind of works. Because you had to get introduced to the characters and their backstories a little bit.
Because they're different.
Yeah.
Same names, different characters.
Very different characters. So it definitely exceeded my expectations, but I'm not like an old school originals fan. I wasn't really one of those kids who watched Power Rangers when I was a kid.
I was.
Yeah, he was nerd.
Go jump off a bridge.
As far as the story goes, there was definitely a lot more character development than there was in the original series. Like, you know, in episode 1, everyone's ready to go, everyone's amazing, and it's just like definitely not that way. It actually takes them a little while. They've got to do a lot of work to get to the point where they can
their butts handed to them. They couldn't even morph until pretty much the end.
Yeah, so there wasn't a whole lot of Power Rangers in the Power Ranger movie. But when they finally did get there, it was amazing. At the beginning and throughout the movie, there's a little bit of a backstory between Rita and Zordon, which was really nice because we never really got that in the original series. It was all kind of just Rangers versus Rita instead of, you know, seeing actual Zordon versus Rita.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. And you got to see actually how he got here. And, you know...
And why Rita really wants to take him down. It's personal.
It's very personal. It's very personal. It's very interesting. So I really liked that. So there's this phrase we use occasionally when we're talking about stories. We call it the heart of the cards moment.
Which there was many.
There were many. Kind of goes back to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Trust in the heart of the cards. You can do it, Yugi!
Yeah, it's usually really funny and really cheesy. So if you hear us talking about Heart of the Cards moment, that's what it's related to. There were definitely a lot of Heart of the Cards moments. A lot of, you know, you're my team. You're so amazing 'cause you're my team.
I'll die for you.
Die for you.
The power is inside of you all along.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But it's really not over the top in this. Not as much as I was expecting.
It's nowhere near as bad as the actual Morphin Power Rangers franchise from the 90s. It's a lot easier to stomach. Because, like, I can honestly say I was an avid fan. I went back to try to watch the series again, and I think I had to quit before the end of the first season because it was so nauseating.
We're not children anymore.
I don't know how I got through it. Yeah, but I'll watch the movie. I'll watch the 90s movie until the end of time because it is so bad. It is so cheesy.
It's so wonderful, though.
It's so corny.
Smells like teenagers.
Yeah, it's just a lot. Yeah. Trying not to talk about that, so let's move on. One last thing about the story. The Rangers had some abilities when they weren't even morphed once they got the power coins, which was very interesting because it wasn't like that on any of the TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
I did like that.
Super strength and agility. But, so as far as the design goes, the Rangers costumes were amazing.
I love them.
Rita was amazing.
You know, this movie, the Poison Ivy fantasy thing, it makes sense.
Elizabeth Banks did an amazing job. She got a little over the top, but I loved every minute of it.
But again, Rita is an over-the-top character. If you watch her in the franchise, her opening on the beginning of the Power Rangers episodes is ridiculous. You're like, okay,
absolutely.
Are you speaking to me? Are you yelling into another universe? Because you're a little extra.
So they did really good with her. There were a few questions that I had. I'm not going to get into those questions because y'all probably haven't seen the movie yet, but I had a few questions by the end of it. It's just like, that doesn't make sense, but I went with it because her character was amazing. She was fierce.
She definitely turned the party.
Zordon. At the beginning of the movie, you get to see him in his original, physical body, which is interesting. Definitely interesting because he is not human. He is not human looking.
No, he's
not even
alien.
close.
He's an alien. That's for sure.
He's one of those guys with a really big head, you know, back here, kind of like. And so it was really interesting seeing like a different kind of Zordon in the flesh versus that dying man in the '90s movie. That was just really bad.
Gross looking. Alpha 5.
Alpha 5. I'm gonna let you go first because you had some very strong feelings about Alpha 5.
He wasn't nearly as campy. He was a lot more modern, which I guess makes sense because, you know, it's not the 90s. He looked cool. I didn't really like him, though, but he wasn't really there for me to get to like him because I didn't like Alpha 5 on the 90s either until, like, Season 2, in all seriousness. He was kind of creepy.
So I really liked Alpha 5. It was a lot, like you said, it was a lot more modern. Like I said, I wasn't really a fan of the 90s franchise, so I didn't come in with any kind of a serious expectation for Alpha 5, and I liked what I got. I really liked his character. It was rendered pretty well as far as the CGI goes, in my opinion. He had some interesting characteristics that made him not boring. Like, it was like, if you remember anything about the 90s. Yeah, it wasn't all that. It was not all that. But he had personality. He had personality, and he was actually easy to understand. It's one of the things I hated about when I did watch Power Rangers way back when. One of the things I hated about Alpha 5 was I was just like, what is this guy saying? Like, what?
They wrote the putties were very interesting. They just looked like gravel.
Gorignac. From Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
They looked like really small Gorignacks from Galaxy Quest.
Goldar.
Goldar. Okay, so if y'all watch the 90s show, you remember that little monkey, that gold-plated monkey that would, you know, fly around, look like it came out of the Wizard of Oz? That was the original Goldar. This one is like, what was it, like 100 foot tall?
Yeah. Well, we never got to see him human size because he was supposed to be human size, and then, you know, Rita would make him grow, but she just straight away made him grow.
Yeah, it was like 100 feet tall, melted gold. That's all it was. It just moved around, melted gold. And it was just like... It was not what I was expecting.
Nope.
It wasn't bad, but it was not what I was expecting. It was just like... I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it. I was expecting the winged monkey.
I'm a little disappointed though, because there was no face, there was no talking.
There was no characterization.
Goldar was definitely a comic relief, and that was gone. He was just a beast.
But Zords. Okay, so the Zords are badass.
They're really cool.
When they were in separate mode, the Zords are fairly similar to the originals. Obviously, they're rendered a little bit better since it's not 1994.
They smooth out the design. They don't look like toys. They look like
really
Transformers now.
They're actually pretty badass. Megazord, though, the Megazord was
It looked like a completely different
amazing.
thing. Whoever designed that's a friggin' genius.
It was fantastic. I was just like, I think we both kind of had a jaw-dropping moment, kind of just like.
I wasn't ready for it because, like, well, we're not about to blow up the plot point, but it was pretty friggin' sweet.
As far as shameless plugs, you know, there's normally at least one.
In the 90s movie, it was Nike.
And in this one, it was Krispy Kreme.
It was Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme will save the world. That's where all life force comes from.
Krispy Kreme. The only way it would have been worse, I said this in the theater, the only way it would have been worse is if it was Starbucks. All life comes from Starbucks. And
I'm really surprised it wasn't, because
there is a mid-credit scene.
And it's not post-credits. Usually Marvel's at the end. It's mid, so you have to actually sit after they say the immediate cast and directors and executives, blah blah blah, then they'll have a moment. So we didn't have the original Blue Ranger, we didn't have the original Black Ranger, we didn't have the original Red Ranger, maybe we didn't, I didn't notice because he's fat and doesn't look like himself.
But we had the original Green Ranger and the original Pink Ranger
together, and they still look cute together!
And it was in the last, like, what, 5 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
We just saw them for a second, but it was just like, oh, there they are!
Anyway, so I'd say overall, I'm gonna buy it. Will I watch it again? Yes.
Definitely.
Most definitely. Probably gonna go watch the 90s one because it's funny.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you're still here, thanks for listening to us ramble.
Yeah, we do that a little bit.
Yeah, because he talks a lot. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.